Yes.
Hello, I would like to find out more about tax planning in Malta.
First of all, let me welcome you to Zugimpex. And now let's talk about tax benefits in Malta. When creating a new taxation system, Malta was assisted by a global tax consultant, whose expertise allowed creating an EU-compatible, but yet pro-business environment. They needed a unique structure that complies with subject-to-tax regulations and double tax treaties. And it allows a 5% effective corporate profit tax if companies are owned by non-residents or by residents without domicile in Malta. It works like this. Companies first have to pay a profit tax of 35%. And then the recipient of dividends receives 30% or 6/7 tax refund. However, a consolidated return is possible, then only the 5% tax is due. Malta is a member of the EU, therefore also the parent subsidiary directive applies. If some conditions are met, dividends from a subsidiary can be received tax-free in the parent company, even across borders.
Does this mean that the refund remains tax-free at the holding?
If the holding is in Malta, this is the case. If the holding is outside Malta, it depends how the tax authorities of the other country qualify the refund. Please consider that there are alternative tax schemes in Malta if a company deals with countries that have a different opinion about their tax schemes. Many of our clients already reduced their tax with smart structuring. Why not take the same step? Book a free first consultation with an expert at Zugimpex. Click on the link below.
What are the benefits of having a holding outside Malta?
First, it might be cheaper. In Malta, every company must have an audited financial statement, and this is not the case in most other countries. So you can save the audit costs. Second, the owners can save tax on the private level. If the holding is in Malta, private owners from most countries have to pay tax in their country of residence when they receive dividends. But it is often possible to create a special company structure where this can be reduced or avoided.
Is it interesting for foreigners to move to Malta?
Of course, there are a lot of benefits: sunny weather, sea, friendly people, security, a booming economy, and a lot of entertainment. But let us focus on tax advantages. The concept of residence without domicile offers tax advantages for foreigners living in Malta. Who resides in Malta more than 90 days must register. And for a tax residence certificate, additional criteria apply. Expatriates are automatically not domiciled in Malta, because there are three concepts of domicile. Domicile of origin, if someone is born as a Maltese. Domicile of dependence, if a foreigner marries a Maltese. And domicile of choice, that requires an active declaration. Residents without domicile are only taxable on income arising in Malta, on income arising outside Malta that is remitted to Malta, and on profits from real estate in Malta. However, there is a minimum tax of €5,000 due if the income arising outside Malta exceeds €35,000 in that year. Income arising outside Malta that remains outside Malta is not subject to tax. And capital gains arising outside Malta can even be remitted to Malta without paying tax. Therefore, separate bank accounts for income and for capital are recommended. This allows foreigners to have their money at a foreign bank and earn interest rates officially tax-free. Take the first step to pay less tax. Book your free 20-minute consultation with a specialist from Zugimpex. Click on the link below. Now let us look at taxable income. This can be income from an employment, from a business, or from self-employment arising in Malta, and it is not tax-free if the activities are performed in Malta. If a resident without domicile owns a Maltese company trough a foreign holding, the structure qualifies for a refund. This means total tax on business profits remains at 5%. Why? The imputation principle defines that a profit shall not be taxed twice. Therefore, such profits remain taxed with 5% even if they are remitted to Malta. You have profits, want to pay less tax, and a company in Malta is a perfect fit for you. Check out our video on how to register a company in Malta. It's your next step toward building a smart, tax-efficient structure.
One more question, does the government offer incentives to move to Malta?
Malta offers several residency programs for different target groups. EU citizens have the right to move to Malta if they have an official place to stay, a reason to stay. For example, employment, and in some cases, a separate health insurance is required. For special groups, there are residency programs. And relocation is easy. Malta is a member of the EU, therefore EU citizens are entitled for a residence permit. Also, within the EU, exit tax is less effective and a tax residence certificate is issued quickly. If third country nationals are qualified and come to Malta to work, a single work permit is a good solution. For special non-EU citizens, Malta offers special programs that require a fee, a fit and proper test, and a minimum tax, but offer additional benefits. Examples are the Global Residence Program, the Nomad Residence Program, and the Startup Residence Program.
One more question, is it possible to move companies to Malta?
In Malta, there are redomiciliation rules. Foreign companies can migrate to Malta and use a tax-free step-up procedure to evaluate assets at market value. According to Maltese legislation, it is possible to apply the concept of residence without domicile to legal entities. If a foreign company moves management and control to Malta, there may be additional tax advantages, because such an entity has limited tax liability in Malta. An income arising outside Malta is not taxable in Malta. Such a structure is favorable for passive income, dividends, interest, or royalties, which are tax-free if not remitted to Malta, because they are deemed to arise where the payer is located. In addition, such structures create credibility and open the door to EU directives and double tax treaties. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give us a like and subscribe. If you have questions or want support, Zugimpex is here for you. Click on the link below and you receive a free first consultation.